The next wine we're tasting is the Tenuta di Nozzole from Chianti Classico in Italy. So this comes from the Chianti Classico region within Italy, and this is a Riserva wine, which means that it's been aged for at least 2 years. It also has the DOCG status, which means that it is the highest quality Italian wine, or it's in that quality classification. The Chianti Classico zone was the original zone of Chianti when it first started, and then it expanded after that. It's considered a higher quality than just Chianti on its own, and it is made with 100% Sangiovese grape. So Sangiovese is the red grape of choice within Chianti Classico. However, they do grow other grapes as well. It comes from the city of Greve in Chianti, and they use stainless steel fermentation when they are making this wine. However, they do age it in toasted French oak barrels for 10 to 12 months. And as we know about French oak, it does add some vanilla, baking spices such as nutmeg, clove, cinnamon, and even some toastiness to the wine. So let's go ahead and assess this wine. When I look at this wine, I really see like a ruby type of color, and I'm going to go ahead and smell it first and assess it for aroma. So some of the aromas that I get from this one are definitely those bright red fruits, and I do get a little bit of some other aromas deeper in there, like tobacco and leather. So let's go ahead and taste it. So on the palate, I'm still getting those bright red fruit flavors such as raspberry, cranberry, cherry. The fruit is ripe, and I am getting a lot of non-fruit flavors as well, which is pretty typical of a Chianti Classico. So I'm getting some savory dried herbs such as oregano. I definitely get leather and tobacco. There is some oak, so I get the vanilla and some of the baking spices, a little bit of that clove. I wouldn't go as far as to say that there's peppercorn that I taste, but definitely some of those spices such as clove or maybe nutmeg. And there is some floral in this as well. So I'm getting a hint of rose and violet in this wine. As far as the structure of the wine, the acid is moderate plus, and the tannin is moderate plus in this wine. It is moderate plus alcohol, and I think it would pair really nicely with a grilled steak. It would go well with that because the steak, the fat of the steak, the protein of the steak would sort of balance out the acidity and the tannin in the wine. And so I like to call protein a tannin eraser, because when you pair it with the wine, you really don't sense the tannin in the wine as much, and it softens, and all of a sudden you get some of the higher notes in the wine that maybe you couldn't taste before. Something else that would go really nice with this is like an aged cheese, like an aged cheddar, an aged white cheddar or something like that. And the same thing goes for the cheddar. What it would do is basically erase the tannins and help you focus on some of the more beautiful notes of the wine. So it's definitely a food-friendly wine, and it's delicious, a really great example of a Chianti Classico from Tuscany.